welcome to the speed seat. We're going fast.
Yeah,
We're
welcome
right
to the lightning protagonist seat. How you guys doing? We missed you. We were in New York. I got sick while I was on the bus.
He's a guy. I'm a guy. We're going to talk about some anime.
We're going to talk about some anime.
Anime.
Manime.
We're going to talk about, guys, we're here to talk about manime.
Manime.
That's, just you wait. That's going to be a fucking thing, dude.
Manime. Some gar shit.
So
now gar is like where it's like, yeah, it's gar. That's cool. That's awesome.
Is it though?
Yeah, like Archer's gar. That's what I used to call him, Garcher.
Is he though?
Yeah. You wouldn't know. It was a different. The early 2000s were a different time.
That's true. This is the Protagonist Seat. It's a podcast where Alex, that guy, and Ian, me, talk about seasonal anime.
And, okay, good. There's no third person here. Got a little worried for a second. Whew. Yeah, we talk about seasonal shows here.
I actually looked around, but that's a visual bit over an audio medium.
Yeah, he did it. And then I was like, why is he bothering?
Because I had to talk about it, and I had to make it genuine.
Oh.
The bits become real.
The bits become reality.
Anywho, since we were away at Anime New York City last week, we did not have an episode for our regular podcast.
Yeah, so now we have to talk about double the episode. But also, we saw some premieres and we released an episode about that, so go watch that.
Yeah, go watch that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I'm probably going to post that one first. So yeah, go watch that.
Yes, and I will make sure to share it as well. So, Fire Force!
We got 2 episodes where we left off with you guys. Last time, Vulcan was getting picked on by Giovanni.
He was just picking on him.
He was
being a real bully.
But then, in the episode following that, Shinra shows up and he meets his brother and he fights his brother, and his brother's really strong.
His brother is real strong. He's got a sword and he's got white hair and he's.
I also thought it would be like, I thought there was going to be a thing where it's like, you're not my brother. He's like, oh, this man's my brother. I don't feel anything but hatred towards him.
Yeah.
Or disgust.
I did kind of like that. Because the you're not my brother thing is some old bullshit that I'm kind of tired of.
It's like, oh, you're my brother. I don't care. I don't like you.
Yeah, whatever. I'll kill you anyway.
And Shinra gets really excited when he sees him. He's like, my little brother's an angel. He's so beautiful.
I need to save him. Don't worry, little bro. I'm going to save you.
But he's like a really good nothing personnel kid, like swordsman.
Yeah. He TPs 2 people and slashes them, I guess?
Yeah, they save Vulcan and they get away in a truck because the doctor guy came and saved them.
Yeah.
And then we already know that the doctor guy's sort of established to be friends with Joker. And Joker shows up to stall show.
Because Joker is, I guess, the only person powerful enough at this point to actually stop him.
Yeah, so they kind of, in there, he's like, why are you helping them? And he's like, it's no fun if one of you guys wins.
And you know what? That's fair. That would make it a real short series.
Yeah. And then the next episode, because now Vulcan joins them at the end of that one.
Vulcan has joined the party.
Because he's like, well, I can't go back to my workshop because Giovanni wants to kill me, so...
I guess I'll just build shit for you guys. Also, Giovanni gets the key to Amaterasu.
Yeah, so, yeah. And then the second episode, we found out that Hajime, the corporation, made like a fall guy. Hajime had made a fall guy, essentially, where they had a body double switch out, and they're like, that was not the real Giovanni. He was an imposter.
He was wearing Giovanni's mask. Oh, no. And our heroes are like, yeah, we don't buy that bullshit.
Yeah.
Not at all. And even Captain Obi is like, Vulcan recognizes, he's seen Giovanni's face, so he recognizes him, and that guy was not Giovanni on the TV. Bruh, he wears even the guy on TV is like all wrapped up like the fucking Invisible Man. You want to tell me that you can recognize anyone through all of that?
Yeah.
Bruh.
But, so they realize that all the people that we know from all the different departments or units get together to sort of have a discussion of what their next move should be.
Yeah.
So we get the guy with the ice powers from the first, Captain Princess from the fifth, of course, and we get Benimaru's friend who can't use his fire powers anymore from the seventh.
The lieutenant.
Yeah.
And they're talking about what they know, which is basically what we know at this point.
Yeah. And it is essentially decided that after all the captains get together and talk, that they need to train their recruits more. They're not strong enough.
Yeah, turns out Shinra and Arthur they're not up to snuff.
And the lieutenant of the 7th is like, hey, I know a guy who would be perfect to train them.
It's Benimaru.
So they go to train with Benimaru.
Uwaka.
And Benimaru essentially does the come at me like you're trying to kill me thing, and he kicks the shit out of both of them.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, you know what you guys need? A finishing move.
And Shinra is pumped as fuck Turns out the guy who gives himself different hero names every time he fights a new villain is real pumped to get a finishing move.
Yeah, also, I found that kind of silly that they need finishing moves, because that's, like, ridiculous.
I get the idea from a practical standpoint that they need something in their arsenal that they can use that would be an unexpected attack for the enemies, which is basically how Benimaru describes it. But it's still kind of goofy to be like, you guys need a finishing move. Also,
Arthur doesn't actually get one because he's like, your fighting style is your finishing move, so
yeah.
You just need to be really good with your sword.
I.e., the writers couldn't think of anything for you, so you're just gonna sword fight with Benimaru for now while Shinra figures out what his finishing move is.
They figure out his should be jet propulsion, because if he can, like, control the amount of flames that come out of his feet to more of a finer, condensed flame, he can essentially move faster.
And the doctor, the Hajime doctor, is the one who shows up and figures this out. He's basically like, hey, I'm gonna be weird and give you some cool advice, and then just kind of sit and chill for the rest of the episode.
And then he copies Benimaru's sort of hand movements, so he realizes, hey, Benimaru, whenever he does a fire attack, does like almost like ninjutsu hand signs.
It is an old form of martial arts that focuses on using various hand signs and motions to focus your ki.
So he teaches him one to focus his ki to his feet.
And it works. Shinra gets jet propulsion legs, and he goes very fast and very far, so that's what he's going to do.
And that's what we do this week, essentially.
Yeah, a lot of training. We do the training, we meet the show. I still don't know what the fuck Joker and the weird doctor's motives are. They just kind of do shit.
Yeah, they're a third faction. We know they're at least not with the evangelists.
Yeah, they're a weird third faction that does whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how that develops.
Yeah. Stone Wildu.
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone.
We're building smartphones, guys.
Yeah, we're building smartphones. I think we ended on that last time.
Yeah.
And then the episode before then is them essentially trying to sort of talk strategy with. We see both groups.
Yeah.
And I think both groups come to the conclusion that they're going to fight after winter ends.
It's the most efficient time to strike is after winter.
Both groups need to do prep for winter anyway, so they're already low on manpower.
Tsukasa's group needs to res more folks, and Senku's group needs smartphones. They will win with Flappy Birds.
Yeah, so while they end up doing that, they're working on the smartphones.
Fuck, dude. Imagine getting turned to stone and then rezzed like 3,000 years later, and shit, all of your servants in Fate Grand Order are gone.
Fuck.
That would be such a piss off.
The whole server would be gone.
I'd be done, man. I'd be like, just send me back.
Or no, more like you get rezzed by some teenager that's like, you gotta fight a war for me.
If Merlin's gone, if my big dick wizard's gone, just turn me back to stone, dude.
Yeah, but to move along, because we got so much shit to talk about, they make a water wheel. Chrome and the craftsman make a water wheel.
Yes, basically Senku mentions some stuff which triggers kind of a thought, a brain blast, if you will, in Chrome. And Chrome and the crafter spend 3 days building a water wheel out in the woods.
And they think they're going to impress him like, hey, but you never thought this could be a thing. And he's like, it's a water wheel. And they're like, he knows what it is.
Which is totally expected. But I like how this is a major invention that did not come from Senku.
Yeah.
This is something that Chrome came up just totally by himself, and I'm very proud of him.
But Senku's like, because of this, now the age of manpower is over, and now we have hydraulic power.
They carve up a shit ton of gears, hook up the their copper generator to the water wheel, and now it spins itself. Well, it is spun by the water.
And they have their iron-making machine there, and it has a pump that pumps air through it now, so they don't even need manpower to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So all their inventions are just moved to the water wheel.
Yeah, because it's much more practical. And then they build batteries, and to do the shit, to hold the power.
Yeah. And I love how Kinro and Ginro are both super happy that they don't have to do the cranks anymore.
It's very good.
They're like, Ginro makes sense, but even Kinro, wow.
Yeah, holy shit. Senku invents the light bulb again. Suck it, Thomas Edison.
But a better one
Nikola
now.
Tesla.
Also, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. We get a nice little scene where Senku decorates the tree with his light bulbs, and he hooks it up to the generator, and he powers it up, and the tree lights up. It's a Christmas tree.
That would have been best if he lights up a Christmas tree, brings it to Tsukasa's camp, and is like, hey, we're going to beat you with the power of Christmas.
We're going to beat you guys with the true spirit of Christmas. We're going to ask Santa to bring us guns.
Also, there is Santa.
Yeah, Santa's there.
Yeah, we see him in the sky.
I don't think it's a literal.
I know, but like, imagine, like, he's just been around this whole time.
Dude, what if Santa was rezzed by Tsukasa, so he was just an aerial spy for him? Because he can move around.
Nah, he wouldn't res him because
quickly.
he's an old man.
That's true.
Santa is the boomerest of boomers.
Tsukasa would kill Santa.
That just shows you he's not a good guy. Tsukasa would kill Santa.
Exactly. Grown-ass bearded men, Tsukasa would kill Santa. Because we can't say kids anymore because YouTube bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do enjoy this scene because I liked... It showed that Senku does have a sentimental side to him. He's not just all pure logic and science and shit.
Yeah.
He's a kid, you know? And he's got a good heart. And I liked that. It was a very humanizing moment.
And they end up having an issue where they can't create the tiny bulbs that they need for the circuit board.
It's just too difficult.
And
trying to make freaking circuit boards in the Stone Age, dude.
But they go to see the sunrise on New Year's, and they realize Chrome found a very specific stone.
Chrome went out looking for stones at one point because he realized with the electric lanterns they can go super far into the caves.
What was the stone he found? Like Tungsten.
Tungsten is an incredibly hard metal. It is shit they use to pierce tanks.
So they found that and they realized they need to find more, and then after they can make a circuit board.
Yeah. Because Suika is basically going through all of the gems, and she's like, I know I'm going to find something here, something super unique in here that's going to help everybody, and everyone's going to give me a pat on my little melon head. And you know what? They did.
She deserves the melon pats.
She deserves... I wouldn't say that. That's towing some dangerous lines with phrasing. She gets
Are we
head
still doing
pats.
phrasing?
Is phrasing still a thing?
Because Chrome went there, so Chrome has to go. Senku goes with them. They're like, who are we going to pick for our third member? And surprisingly enough, they pick Magma.
I mean, they can't really pick anyone else.
Yeah, well, it goes through the list of all the people like it's a video game selection screen.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But yeah, they pick Magma because they need brute strength.
Because Tungsten is hard as fuck.
Yeah, so they pick a guy who at one point was trying to murder them.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Hey, a man who was going to murder me and who is a big POS, just come into this dark cave with us alone. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're closing in on
things are moving quickly.
Yeah.
Because we got a deadline. Because basically they have to move before spring. So they need to develop essentially walkie-talkies, because that's how Senku describes it, and basically it's a walkie-talkie. He's going to convert sound waves into radio waves and then back again.
Yeah.
There and back again. Fate, Grand Order, Absolute, Demonic Front, Babylonia.
And these 2 episodes together, they feel like one, so that's easy. But these 2 episodes together are why I'm down for watching this show. Just the fights.
It's dope as shit.
Because I don't care about the rest of the stuff. It's fine, but
we get another. I think we get another moment between Merlin and Anna that's not in the.
No, that was in there.
It was.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember a lot of the specific speech cutscenes.
That essentially, there's a scene at night where Anna and Merlin are talking, and it's just a conversation about how both of them are inhuman, and Anna's worrying about what I forget his name, the main character,
Ritsuka Fujimaru.
Yeah, what Ritsuka would think of her, and he's like, "Hey, I don't have any actual emotions. I'm kind of a terrible person, but do you think he would care if he knew that?"
Yeah, I get my emotions from the dreams I steal from people.
Yeah.
Because he's an incubus.
Yeah. Well, he's part incubus.
Yeah.
He's half.
Is he in this world, though?
I think he's still half. His mom was human. His dad was an incubus.
I would hope his dad would be the incubus.
His mom was the incubus.
Although his dad was probably a second mom after that night. That's how that shit works. Like, if you have sex with a succubus, she turns into an incubus. And then using your man goo, gives it to someone else, and then turns into a succubus again.
So they just keep swapping?
Yeah.
That's weird.
How wonky is that shit?
I guess demons are wonky, so...
Demons are kind of... Guys, demons are weird.
But...
Don't do demons.
Don't do demons.
Don't... Unless you want to wake up with a member of the opposite gender that was not a member of the opposite gender the night before, not excluding our LGBTQ members.
Unless you want the best of both worlds.
You know what? Actually, that would be prime for someone who's bi. You could just swap off.
Yeah. So you know what? Do demons if you're bi.
That's the... We're not gonna get in trouble for that one. It's a good thing no one's listening.
Especially not kids, because this channel is not for kids.
Shit, dude. That's a real hard... People would probably be very upset if they found their kids listening to that segment.
Yeah. Now, I think a kid doesn't have the attention span to get this far in.
Probably not.
But, yeah,
if you have, congratulations.
So there's a scene with... where we find out that on the other side of the wall there's a town with some civilians in it that still need saving. So Ritsuka, of course, wants to go and save them, so he's going to form a sort of little expedition party to go and get them.
So he sets out with a bunch of soldiers, as well as Ushi Wakamaru and Musashibo Benkei.
Yeah, and as they go out to fight, they get to the town and they realize, oh, everyone's dead.
Everything is fucked.
And they go to find the center of the town where there is Enkidu. Blood everywhere, yeah.
Conveniently enough, Enkidu was nice enough to leave all of the blood trails going to him.
And then after they're fighting Enkidu, Anna's getting her shit wrecked, but then Merlin buffs her with, hero creation.
Yeah, I'm assuming he uses hero creation.
Yeah, and then after she beats the giant beast he summons, and then...
Ushi Wakamaru and Benkei figure out, oh no, they were the diversion. The Ritsuka was the real target the whole time.
And then, boom, Gorgon shows up.
I mean, Tiamat.
Yeah, it's Medusa.
Yeah, it's Medusa. She is gigantic. She got a snake legs. She got a lot of snake arms coming out of her like the freaking darkness.
Yeah. And she ends up deciding that she's just going to kill them there and now, and they have to escape. And she is really strong. At first, Merlin's going to fight her. He's like, don't worry, I can beat her because I'm immortal. And she's like, oh, an immortal. guess I'll have to use my mystic eyes then.
And turn you into stone.
And he's like, oh, never mind. Protect me at all costs. It'd be really bad if I go unconscious right now.
Guys, I want to print a retraction. I am not going to fight this creature. Instead, let's all run away.
Yeah.
And then they do. But Ushi Wakamaru shows up. She shows up. She's like,
I'll buy you guys time. Escape.
As a promise I made to a friend. And I'm like, man, you are cool. You are an unexpectedly cool character.
Yeah, Ushi is surprisingly really awesome in this.
I didn't think I would like you as much, Ushi Wakamaru. I'm surprised.
Yeah, they really make the low stars in this really cool.
Dude, fucking...
Leonidas was the most badass.
This dude was a champion.
Yeah, so...
I was like, dude, that guy's a 2-star?
Yeah, I think he's a 2-star, yeah.
Yeah.
So they end up fighting, and it's a really cool fight scene. Most of this is fight scene.
Yeah,
but
this is a fight scene.
A lot of Ushi running around on the arms, like chopping them and stuff. But yeah, they escape back to the wall, and then it looks like Tiamat's going to chase them there anyway. And then, boom, here comes Leonidas with a bunch of his ghost soldiers.
The ghosts of the 300 Spartans and, like... 200 extra guys that no one ever talks about.
And of course, him being Greek also knows immediately who this snake goddess is.
Because he's like, I am a descendant of Zeus. And she's like, holy shit, you're related to Zeus? And he's like, there's only one person who's got the stony eyes who knows who Zeus is, dude. You are Gorgon. You are Gorgonzola.
Yeah, and so... she uses her Noble Phantasm on him, and he uses his, which is a super defensive buff one, but it's...
Basically, Gorgon shoots a lot of purple lasers that make a lot of dubstep noises.
Yeah. And then he uses his NP, and he starts turning to stone, but he still gets off his spear. He throws it, and he basically rips a hole right through her center.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it's badass.
He hits her with his spear, and it just, like... creates this huge explosion and just rips a hole in her chest. Is great.
And he takes a step forward, but his legs crumble off because his feet are stone.
Yeah, and then you feel bad because he's dying, and then he dies.
Yeah, but she lets him die like a hero because he's humanity's greatest defender.
Because you know what? He is.
Yeah.
He is.
He is historically even one of our greatest defenders.
That's true. If there was any servant I could pick to, like, defend a location, it would be Leonidas.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Guys, Leonidas is great, but he's a 2-star, so don't use him in grand order.
Well, actually, people use Leonidas a lot for specifically tanking.
That makes sense.
Leonidas and George get used a lot, but usually a lot of times people don't even level them up. It's just, hey, taunt this turn so my actual, like, solo character doesn't die. People use them when soloing because you're just there to have them, your important person, survive wave 1 and wave 2.
Yeah.
But yeah. Leonidas is great.
And he's gone now.
Yeah, so he dies. And then Ushi ends up getting back up.
Back.
Yeah, and so then she has another cool fight scene where she uses her Noble Phantasm, which basically makes shadow clones.
That are also very dangerous.
Yeah, and she's just cutting up the tentacles, just running along on the, like, snake heads.
And she fires off her Noble Phantasm right in Medusa's face, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, and turns out she has a holy grail inside of her.
Yes. She claims that she didn't use the power of it, but I don't believe that.
And she's like, now I will destroy all of Urk. And then Enkidu's like, hey... Mother, we kind of have to get those second-generation sacred beasts or whatever out, so...
If you take down Uruk...
Yeah, we'll have to go to war with the other 2 goddesses, and we're not ready for that.
And she's like, fine, later, scrubs.
10 days.
10 days.
And then Enkidu's like, aren't I a pretty nice guy? I just bought you 10 days.
I just saved you guys. Aren't I your best friend?
And Ritsuka tries to punch him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even, like, use super speed to dodge. He just kind of steps out of the way.
I mean, you don't need to. Ritsuka's just a guy.
I know, like, it was just the saddest punch. It was just,
2 of my friends are dead. It is the saddest punch I've ever seen. Like, it looks like it wouldn't even hurt if you got hit by it, but anywho.
Yeah, so Ushi actually wakes up and she's still alive. She's just in the H.R. Geiger nightmare.
Yeah, turns out Ushi wakes up in Alien 2? Or no, that would be Aliens. Yeah, Alien 3, maybe?
No, Aliens is the one where it's like they find the place with all the people in like the pods. Yeah, it turns out
she wakes up in Aliens.
They're using corpses of people to make the beasts. So,
Rip.
Yeah. And he's gonna like turn Ushi into one. But Ushi mouths off to him, which pisses him off, so he, like, sticks... Which is actually a really gross scene. He sticks his hand in her stomach.
Yeah, he jams his fingers right into her.
And it's, like, right in the stomach area, too. So it's... And he's, like, kind of digging them around. You can really see it.
It's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And then he decides, you know what? Turning you into a regular beast isn't good enough. We're gonna do something worse. We're gonna bathe you in the Grail mud.
Yeah, he's basically gonna turn her into evil Ushi mode.
And then he drops her on the ground and steps on the wound.
Yeah, because Enkidu's kind of a piece of shit.
This Enkidu is. Regular Enkidu's just kind of a prankster.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that a prankster is still a piece of shit.
Yeah, but this one is like, I want to destroy humanity.
I'm humanity version 2, so once we wipe you scrubs out, it's all gonna be me.
Yeah, which we'll find out later that doesn't work out how he plans.
No. Surprise, guys, they are gonna win.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so good, a really well done episode.
The fights
made two characters really cool.
Yeah, you made 2 low-star servants. Awesome.
I know Ushi had a fan base, and people always just generally liked Leonidas.
Yeah, because Leonidas is pretty cool. But, as usual, the fights are amazing.
Yeah, always good. Always hood.
You know what else has great fights? Not Demon School.
Yeah, I was going to say, not good segue.
Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
So, the episode from the previous week was him essentially reading manga to the class president, which we expected. That was what it was going to be. And she's just the best.
She's great. She is best girl.
Yeah, she is best girl. She gets super into it, and she's all like, ooh.
And she just summons him at random times to be like, read me manga, student.
And we just get the best part where Asmodeus and Clara notice he's not spending as much time with them, and they're both curious about it, but Asmodeus thinks he has some sort of plan to get the student council in his debt.
Which, you know what, that seems like what Asmodeus would think.
And then Clara's just jealous that he's not playing with her.
He's hanging around with this other chick, who is obviously best girl.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then Clara ends up basically wanting to bust, and this kind of bleeds into the other episode where Clara's trying to bust in the room and Asmodeus is there defending the door.
I love it. He's like, you will not interrupt Master Iruma's plans.
They almost have a fight scene with each other where she just keeps making things to try to bust down the door and he keeps destroying them.
She throws a vending machine at it and he catches it and he's like, stop.
And then she makes a chainsaw and he makes like a fire sword to like cut up her chainsaw.
But eventually she wins by creating a wrecking ball. And he's like, how could I... Asmodeus is like, I'm sorry, Master. I blinked, and in that one instant, she just got the better of me.
How could I have blinked?
How could I have blinked?
But then this episode ends up being mostly about Clara, where she wants Asmodeus to spend... Or not Asmodeus. She wants Iruma to spend more time with her. So she's like, what can I do? And so they're all taking electives, and she decides to take the succubus class.
She's gonna seduce him.
Yeah.
Yay!
And they're in the class, and it's like girls only besides the owl kid, who's essentially their grape coon.
Grape juice.
Yeah, it's their grape juice. So
it's the pervert of the class.
Yeah, so he keeps getting thrown out. But the teacher has a special vision to see everyone's sexiness rating.
Which is a very convenient ability to have.
Yeah, so she's checking out all the girls to see what their sexiness rating is, and Clara's is a 2%.
I like this scene because she gives someone like a 51%, and they're like, oh man, that's pretty low, and the teacher's just, no, don't worry. The lowest I've ever had to give anyone is a 21. And then she looks at Clara and it comes up as 2. And she's like,
even babies have 3.
You are somehow more innocent than a baby. So she gives her a lot of extra reading to do.
Yeah, so she gives her books on just how she can, like, be more sexy. And so she's reading about them and she's like, all right,
wow.
First thing, posing.
And it's not good.
Yeah.
She is not good at any of these.
Yeah.
We got posing. We got touching.
Which ends up just being patty cake.
Yeah. It starts off with Clara just full on leaping onto him like she leaps onto everybody. We have, what is 3? 3 is the shaky clothing, right?
Yeah, where she's like, try to dress in like a fashionable outfit, and she just dresses like a pom-pom.
Yeah.
And then Asmodeus comes by, he's like, I leave you alone for 1 second.
And you're just dressing in all of this weird shit. We get makeup, which she looks a little bit like a mix between a geisha and a clown.
Yeah, and everyone in the class is just like, wow, you look terrible.
That is awful.
And she realizes and the teacher even is like, you're not cut out to be sexy.
Maybe you should find something else. And Clara is actually she's pretty down about this.
Yeah, so she ends up going home, and then her siblings all try to cheer her up, and then her mom gives her a kiss on the forehead, and then she feels better, and they all break into a musical number.
And then a musical number happens, and at this point in the program, Ian is sitting on his couch like, I was really not expecting a musical to happen, and I'm kind of not down with it.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
And then after she ends up going back to school the next day, and she's just kind of still sitting outside kind of bummed, and Aruma comes up next to her, and he's just like, hey, Clara. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's not safe for a girl to be out here by herself. And then she's like, a girl?
You think of me as a girl?
And then she gets all happy, and then she's like, I'm going to make you fall for me one day, Aruma-chi.
And he gets a doki.
And then she grabs his hand and pulls him away, the teacher looks out the window, and she's like, I wonder what happened. And her rank went up to 10%.
Yeah, even though she is not best girl. And
she's still pretty good.
She's okay.
She's pure. She's innocent. She's a good girl.
You can't hate Clara.
Yeah.
But student council president is just...
Yeah, that's...
She asks Iruma at one point in, I think it's the first episode.
Asmodeus is best girl, though.
Asmodeus is best girl. But student council president asks Iruma what his desires are, and she fries his brain because he actually just can't think of anything.
Yeah, he's never had desires, so she basically suggests, well, maybe climbing ranks would be a good one. He's like, yeah, it's simple, so he decides he wants to climb to the next rank.
Bet. And not like the bet, like the slang term, but that's what the rank is called. Bet.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Good Clara episode.
This show is still very wholesome.
Yeah, it's a wholesome show.
For a show about demons.
Yeah, the most wholesome show. Demons.
Oresuki.
Wahoo, wahoo. Wanna China? Wahoo, wahoo. Oh wait, no, that's the different one. This is Oresuki. I skipped over to didn't I say make me average in my next life?
Now I have another bit for the transition to that one.
Yeah, Oresuki. Are you the only one that loves me?
We get
2 episodes. So let me remember the week before. Oh yeah, pool episode, because it's not the beach to go to the pool.
The Sun-chan redemption arc happens.
Yeah, where he ends up being the best boy. Because he's a different character now.
And then they make jokes about yaoi romance in it. And actually, I laughed pretty hard at this episode.
Yeah, so they all go to the pool together. So it's him, Cosmos, Pansy, and then Genki Girl, and Sun-chan. Himawari and Sun-chan. And he's all expecting, like, oh man, it's time to be at the pool. So many awesome things are going to happen.
Because you know what? Much like myself, you go to the pool for the attractive ladies.
And while they're there, the girls decide to have a contest to see who Joro can expect, who is he gonna enjoy his time with the most?
Who's gonna have more fun with Joro? Because they all want to do different stuff with Joro.
Yeah, and the second I saw this happening, I knew it's gonna be Sun-Chan, because they're all gonna ruin their own chances.
Of course, because Sun-Chan is great.
Yeah, so the first one is Himawari, and she ends up wanting to go down the water slide with him, which is fine on its own. But
he's hoping that she's going to lose her top.
Yeah. Instead, he loses his shorts.
Yes, but Sun-Chan
yeah.
dives.
He's like, oh no, they're going to see me, and he jumps in, and he's standing behind him, covering him, and he's like, don't worry, I figured something like this would happen. He's like, Sun-Chan.
My disaster sense kicked in, and I knew something was going to go wrong.
And then the next one, he is going to ride on a dolphin with Cosmos.
Kaicho.
But
a big pink inflatable dolphin.
But a couple of kids go like, hey, is that girl and that boy dating? And then
Look
she gets
at those lovebirds.
And she's all like, oh, of course, us lovebirds. And she's too distracted by that to see he's floating away by himself.
He's actually like, come on, we should hurry this up. Sitting on this...
Yeah, a lone guy on a dolphin just...
is weird. And she's like, hurry it up? Like, hurry up our marriage plans?
And he's like, no, and he's floating away by himself. And then on the bridge above, Sun-Chan.
I laughed so fucking hard.
He jumps down and lands on the bank. He's like, don't worry, Joro. And he's like, Sun-Chan.
Let's ride off into the sunset together.
And you just see like an image of them going off into the ocean just on the inflatable dolphin.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh.
And then the last one is him and Pansy in a hot tub together.
What could possibly go wrong?
And I think it goes fine until Pansy just kind of...
Pansy reveals that she stalks him and basically knows all of his personal information.
Yeah, a bunch of weird shit, and it's about to ruin things for him, and then... Sun-Chan! He busts in, he's just like...
Yo, you should chill. He's having a rough time, dude.
And then at the end, they're all waiting for his response, and he's like... They're like, come on, Joro, who did you have the most fun with? Who wins? And he's like, you want to know who wins?
Sun-Chan.
And they're like, huh? And he's just like, I had more fun. I spent more time with him today than I did any of you. And he's like, come on, let's go, buddy.
Let's go, best friend.
And they're both running off into the sunset together. And he's like, high school girls are great, but there's nothing like a high school boys' friendship.
Nothing like a high school. High school boys are the best. We also get a scene where the popular girl who bullied him with the red hair.
Yeah, I almost forgot about her.
Yes, they encounter each other in line, and she's like, I want to apologize to this guy I was mean to. And Joro can't come up with anything, so she's like, fuck you then. So she buys him a soda, and she's like, thanks for telling me just to apologize.
He's like, also, should that girl apologize with dyed hair? And he's like, I don't know, straight black hair is kind of my thing.
That's my personal thing,
and
but...
then she goes and does it.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's into Joro.
I don't know why she's into Joro either.
Yeah, unless we're going
to We need another one.
Yeah, we need another... It was the day of the baseball tournament.
And another one.
Oh, and then at the end of the episode, they get a transfer student.
Yes, we realize that red-haired girl is the popular girl, and she's got black hair, and she's cute. And then a transfer student shows up.
And then she's like, hello, I'm so-and-so. And then she walks over to Joro and kisses his hand. And she's like...
She kneels down like he's a noble.
And then he's like, what? And she's like, I'm so glad to see you again. She's like, I'm here to be your servant.
I will do whatever you ask of me. And I will do whatever I can to make you happy. And yes.
Yeah. And then the next episode kicks in. And we see Asuno, the newspaper girl's still into Joro, and she's really pissed off watching this.
I like how we get everyone is looking at this, and we get a shot of everyone in the classroom being just like, what the fuck is this bitch doing with Joro? Joro's my man. And I feel a little bad for him because he's like, I don't know what to do. This is weird.
And apparently this was the girl that he bought all those, like, steak skewers from.
You see... It was the day of the baseball game.
Yeah, because he knew Sun-Chan was down. He explained to her the story of how he wanted to cheer up his friend, and apparently she thought that was really amazing.
She runs a food stand. I forget what food it is exactly. Her family does.
Yeah, they're like fried like pork chop skewers or steak skewers. I don't know.
And Sun-Chan really loves them.
Yeah, in fact, when they mention it,
all of them.
He starts going on about like skewers, and he's like, I love fried skewers, and then he's just...
I love Happy Time skewers.
And that's all Sun-Chan is now. He doesn't have any romantic anything going on anymore. He's just a basic side character.
Yeah, but I still love him.
Yeah. He's cool now.
You know what?
He's not going to beat Asmodeus for best boy, but he's fine now.
He's not. He at the very least is not going to attempt to sexually assault anyone anymore. So that's a pretty marked improvement.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have those thoughts in that brain of his anymore.
Hashtag never forget. So basically, Joro is trying to figure out how to get out of it. He doesn't want it.
Yeah, so they end up. He ends up thinking that she's got an ulterior motive,
which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, which I guess is fair because it's like this is a pretty weird thing. But then he decides, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with this because this is pretty good. This girl's the perfect heroine.
Yes.
And she joins them at lunch at the library, and turns out Cosmos was planning on giving him some lunch. Like she made something for. She made a lot of food for him, but he already agreed to share lunch with her.
And he ends up eating both.
Yeah, and Pansy's like, you know, you're kind of being a coward.
By not choosing one, you are choosing neither, like a true coward.
Yeah, and then she eventually convinces Joro to borrow a book, or like take a book from her, borrow it, and read it. And he's like, I'm not a very fast reader. And she's like, that's fine. I want something to talk with you about.
Yeah.
And he's like, fine. And then he ends up going to the store to buy something, because apparently there's some special event that he hasn't fully revealed what it is yet.
Yeah. It's a yearly tradition.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of yearly traditions, Himawari's birthday is coming up.
Yeah, and she ends up bumping into him, and it looks...
She tackles him.
Yeah, she tackles him.
She doesn't just bump into him.
And he had his bag open, so it looks like the book might have flown out during that. And
it did.
These two girls are watching.
Two girls watch from the distance because the harem is not big enough yet.
Yeah, and this has got to be something because they're there later when he goes back, which means they've been hanging out there the entire time.
Maybe they were just looking to chill in that one area for an entire day. Maybe.
I guess so. But yeah, so he realizes he lost the book and he goes out looking for it. And these two girls approach him and are like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, I lost something. It's a book. It's really important. Well, we'll go help you and look. And then they go and find it immediately.
Yes. They go and find the book immediately. And it's wrecked.
It's damaged.
Bam, bam, ring.
So then he realizes... oh, I need to pay, and well, they tell him the book is actually super rare and it's worth a lot of money, and he's like, I gotta pay Pansy back for this.
Shit.
I gotta buy her a new one.
I gotta buy her a new book.
So he's looking to get a part-time job for it, and of course the girl who works at the food stand's like, hey, just come work for my family.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And so he's like, hey, that's a good idea, so he decides to do that, and Pansy's like, hey, he's like, can I talk to you for a second? And he shows her the book, and he's like, I'm sorry I damaged it. And she says...
this was a big move I did not expect out of Joro.
Yeah, he's like, I damaged it, but don't worry, I'm going to pay you back. And she's like, that's why you got the job? Yes. That's fine. I don't need you to pay me back for it.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to pay me back.
No, I have to pay you back.
Joro, just spend time with me. No, I'm going to buy you a new book. Well, are you at least going to give me the old book? No, because I still haven't finished reading it yet.
And she's like, well, at least there's like some kindness in you, because... she's mad that he's being obstinate because she doesn't care about the book. She just wants to spend time with him. In fact, the book was just a reason to spend time with him.
But he is being very stubborn about it.
Yeah, he's being honor-bound about having to pay her back for it.
To be fair, it does seem like it is a fairly rare book.
And her gears are always turning, so, you know, she's probably figured out that something's up with this because...
one of the girls is in on it, because of course they are.
Because... those two girls were waiting there the entire time. They saw it happen, and they found it right away.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're somehow connected to Food Stand Girl.
Something's up.
Because something's always up.
Something's always up, and I like that.
Basically, this is a series where every girl has a bunch of ulterior motives and secret plans.
Yeah, and I love it. It's great. Yeah. Ooh, didn't I say... to make my abilities average in the next life.
Make it a song.
I did.
Didn't I say to make my abilities average in my next life?
Well, I was doing like the what you say.
Oh, ooh, what you say.
But I turned it into ooh, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life.
This is one of my favorites to watch too.
This show is great.
So the previous one, this show can actually, this is an end arrow. This gets dark sometimes.
Yeah.
The previous one where they arrived at the town after they escorted that group of merchants, and they meet the old man, the wagon driver's daughter.
She does not look very much like...
Yeah, they realize he's like, oh, you girls are just like my granddaughters.
Not really.
She's like 7.
She is 7.
Where they're all like 15.
Yeah. And one of them is very well endowed.
Yeah, Paulina.
It's Paulina.
Yeah, Pauline. And they end up staying in the town for a while, and the merchant guy has to go back out on another one, and they agree, like, all right, well, we'll probably be spending a few days in town, so I guess we'll see you. And then they hear, oh, the merchants got attacked. Literally everybody was killed. And Rena gets real pissed because she sees the little girl kind of like, wait, Grandpa's not coming back? And then she gets like a PTSD flashback of her own trauma.
Yeah, it gets real dark.
Yeah, so they realize they're sitting around thinking about what to do, and they're like, hey, where's Rena? She said she had something to go and do. And they're like, shit.
Uh-oh.
And they realize she's going to go after the bandits by herself.
So they go after her. Because Rena does go off to fight the bandits by herself.
And she does almost get killed because one of them is also a mage, and he just makes ice magic protect them.
Turns out these bandits are suspiciously strong and well organized.
Yeah, and they end up beating them, saving Rena, and they kind of tell her, hey, you're being an asshole.
Yeah, you should have came and got us so we could fight the bandits together.
Because, hey, we were worried about you, and we're your friends.
Yeah, we wanted to help that crying child, too, by avenging her grandfather.
And what would happen if you died here? We'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we have Mile, who's the OP protagonist, but still, we like you. You're our friend.
Yeah, and so while they're kind of getting their shit together and she apologizes to them, the bandits show back up, and they're like, we are the bandits. Please drop your weapons and surrender.
To which they reply, bandits don't ask that. Your request is immediately suspicious. And you know what? They give up the ghost pretty damn quick.
It's like, all right, yeah, like, we are the knights, and we are actually working for the government, and we're trying to start a trade conflict with the neighboring country.
Because.
And so we have to kill you because no one should know about that.
Like we killed the rest of those fools in that caravan.
Yeah, we killed all those people, those innocent people.
We murdered those innocent civilians like we're gonna murder you.
And then
then they don't.
Yeah, the girls get mad and they just absolutely wreck these people.
Yeah.
And they catch them all and they arrest them.
Yeah, we got them.
And then they really stop the bandits because they stop the actual government.
Turns out the real bandits
were the government we made along the way.
Was the government we made along the way.
That's actually true.
And we also
that's scary how applicable to our life that is.
Yeah, it is. We also get a moment where the bandit leader, or I guess the leader of the contingent of soldiers, is defeated, and we get a moment where we think that Reina's gonna kill him, but she doesn't.
Yeah. Because and it looks like they might let her at one point.
Yeah,
like they actually like one of them is going to stop her. I think it's Mavis, but they're like, no, this is her choice.
Mile is gonna do it. Oh. Mile is about to speak up, and Mavis is like, don't, bruh, don't.
But all she does is like singe his mustache.
Yeah, she toasts him up real crispy like.
Yeah, and she's like, you're not even worth killing.
Bam.
And it turns out they get back to town, and the old man survived.
He wandered into the woods to take a piss, and...
Old man gotta pee.
Old man gotta pee. Why do you have to... Ezekiel, why do you have to wake us up every time?
For reference, I played an old man in D&D once before, and he had to pee all the time because old men gotta pee, so he'd always let everyone know every time he had to pee at night.
It was the old man pee memes.
Yeah, he had to get up, he'd be like, gotta pee.
But... he went to go take a piss, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna fight these people and die as well, because, I don't know, honor some bullshit?
Yeah, honor. For example, he's an older man, so he probably doesn't feel too good about letting young man do all the fighting.
Yeah.
But he just can't do it. He can't bring himself to it. He was too scared.
Yep. He realizes, hey, I have a family at home, so I should probably not do that.
And everyone, it's a very touching scene. It's very sad. He cries, and then everyone in town, even though he's like talking about how he was a coward, they're like, we're still glad you came back, old man.
Grandpa's back, guys. The old man.
Yeah, I thought he was actually like legitimately dead too.
Me too.
So I was like, this show gets dark.
Way to make an episode that's super dark, makes me really feel for these characters, and actually has me, like, instead of exhausted about it, glad that a character is not
I'm
actually
glad
dead.
that old man lived.
Yeah. And it's a guy we just met, like, an episode
He doesn't even have a name. Everyone just calls him Old Man.
Yeah, he is Old Man. But you know what? We felt for him.
Yeah.
That's how well written this show is.
And then the next episode, they make it super light. They make it light because, we just got off of something heavy.
We get a beach episode. We got some downtime between adventures.
Yeah, they realize, like, hey, we finally get a chance to rest, and because we've been going nonstop. And then they kind of compare Rena
like
to being...
we have this episode.
Yeah, they kind of compare Rena to their boss, like that she's been kind of working them nonstop.
And Rena's like, guys, I'm not the boss.
I'm tired too. That's what a boss would say who wants his employees to work harder.
Guys. So they all decide to take some time off for a little vacation. Everyone kind of does their own shit. Pauline does accounting because, of course, she does.
Yeah, Mavis goes to a cafe to read a book, and everyone's just like, she looks super regal and, like, cool, sitting by the window, sipping coffee. Everyone's like, wow, that person is so noble and elegant.
She found the one area of this cafe with extra atmosphere in it.
And all the people and the girls at the table next door are like, is she a man or a woman? Either way, I'm fine with it.
You know what? Mavis cemented herself as my favorite because she's reading poetry in a cafe. She's the biggest softie ever.
I like Mavis and I like Rena a lot. Actually, I like Rena a lot because it turns out she's shopping for accessories, and she's like, I really can't have the others be around while I do this. And she's like, and she does an impression of how each of them would react to it.
She does a super, like, good impression of everyone else's voices,
she does, like, Maya, like, wow, Rena, you're just as girly as us. Or, Rena, my father has ordered a dress just for you. Or, Rena, are you sure maybe you shouldn't be the girliest member of the group?
Maybe you should change classes. And it's, like, her VA does a very good job with these impressions.
I like Rena a lot. I like this cast.
I like everybody. Everyone's great.
Yeah. And Mile essentially has nothing to do because she's talking to her little animal companion thing, and he's like, what did you do in your world? Watch TV?
I watched TV and played video games.
He's like, well, we don't have that here.
I'm sorry, we don't have that here. Well, what am I gonna do?
So she ends up practicing. When I liked how this came full circle, she practiced the flying. I think it's called
Dogeza.
Dogeza, yeah. She practices a flying Dogeza, and a Dogeza is essentially that thing where you get down on the ground and press your forehead to the ground. It's like a begging position.
It is the ultimate begging apology in Japanese culture.
Yeah. And she practices a flying one where she jumps into the air, forms into it in the air, and then lands.
Yes, and you know what? She gets pretty good at it, too.
And she convinces all of them to go to the beach.
Because at first, everyone is off doing their own thing, and then she's like, I have nothing to do. And then everyone else shows up and is like, what are you doing, and why do you have dirt on your forehead?
Yeah, and she's like, we should go to the ocean. They're like, that might be fun. And she really wants to do the swimsuit thing because, again, she wanted a normal high school life, and that's a normal high school thing. But she needs to force that onto this medieval world.
Yes. So she does her flying Dogeza.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, that's why you had all the dirt on your forehead.
Oh.
And she's like, but we need swimsuits. And they're like, well, why do we need that? Well, because your regular clothes will just stick to you and get all wet. But these are specially made. Also, I need to measure you.
I need to measure you naked.
And she does.
And she does.
And they're all uncomfortable besides Mavis, who's a noble, so she's used to having maids see her naked.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a weird little detail that makes total sense.
But Rena and Pauline are not into it.
I also like how when Rena opens the door to leave, we see Mile, and she's dressed as a doctor.
Yeah, she has a
mustache.
And she's like, next patient.
It's very good.
And they go to the beach, and they all change into their swimsuits, and they all got nice swimsuits kind of specifically tailored to each of them.
Mavis has kind of a boyish swimsuit with a sports bra and trunks.
Mavis is a tomboy. That is essentially her character trait that carries into everything and every aspect about her.
Yes.
Pauline has big titties, so of course hers really exemplifies that.
Yes, she has a very skimpy bathing suit. And Reyna is the, I'll say, lolliest of the group.
Yeah.
So she gets a one piece.
Yep, and then it turns out Mile is patting hers.
And Mile also gives Reyna a wig to wear, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but they end up, and they're like, okay, now let's go in the water. And she's like, no, that's not the point of going to the beach in swimsuits. You never go in the water. She's like, I thought you said they were made to protect us in the water. And she's like, yeah, but that's the worst case scenario.
I just made that up. We're here to frolic in the shallows.
We're here to frolic and giggle.
So we're gonna frolic and we're gonna giggle.
And they do actually have fun. They shoot each other with, like, squirt guns, it looks like she makes them.
Mile makes squirt guns, folding beach chairs, a beach ball, and a parasol. And then they have a good time.
And they do enjoy themselves, and then someone comes down to like an old man comes by, and he's like, what are you girls doing?
Why are you all basically naked?
It's like, no, these are swimsuits. We're enjoying ourselves at the beach. And then after a bunch of people are like, look at the naked ladies.
And they're all like,
Mile, I thought you said this was normal. It is in my country. And it turns out, yeah, swimsuits are not normal in medieval times, so everyone thinks there's just a bunch of naked girls on the beach.
And you know what? They're not entirely wrong.
Yeah, and as they're heading back at the end of the episode, we see Pauline notices some guard watching them. And then he kind of, like, darts off, and then while the other three are talking, they're like, I don't know, what do you think, Pauline?
And she's gone.
And they're like, Pauline?
Pauline?
And then that's where it ends.
Pauline!
I do like this series a lot, though. I like how it can switch from comic to serious.
Yeah, it does it effortlessly and very well.
And you know what? I might read the light novels for this after it's done. Because I don't see this getting... These type of shows never get a second season, which is sad.
Yeah, I might as well, actually. Just because if...
Because it's on, like, I thought the translation would be further behind, but they're on... The English versions are up to volume 8 now.
Should have picked some up at Anime New York City at the end.
I should have, but now I gotta wait till Boston to buy in bulk.
Yeah, but that's fine though.
Yeah, it's fine. Because you know what? I realize it's best to buy all your little pro tip: buy all your manga and light novels at cons because you usually get way better deals than just buying them online.
You can get a shit ton all at once for mad cheaps.
Yeah,
and they'll give you a pin or something stupid.
Yeah. Or just like a free thing, like here's a poster.
Here's a thing.
Here's a little poster. It's not a big poster. It's a little poster.
Shut up and take your thing. It's fine. Whatever. Who cares?
We're almost done.
Salaryman.
That's gonna be hard to cover because this is like the previous episode is like a week ago. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
It opens with Little Red Riding Hood Toucan.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's the episode where we meet the honey badger.
Yes. Basically, it opens with Little Red riding Toucan. He gets a bald spot through stress. So, I guess Turtle President is like, here, cover up with this, and Sonny.
It's my loincloth, but he seems happy, so I won't tell him.
I'll leave that part out.
But yeah, so apparently that's just the opening bit. It's just a little Red Riding Hood thing.
It's a retelling with all our characters.
Yeah, but then the later half, just because we're almost at an hour mark and we still got No Guns Life, so
yeah,
we gotta speed along. With
Big Cat is Grandma.
Big Cat is Grandma. So we meet two new characters. One's like a little bird, and apparently he's the biggest shitbag.
Yeah, he has a blog where he records the misery of other people, and he causes most of it. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, and when they go to confront him, he calls his boss for backup.
Boss, they're being mean and bullying me.
And he's essentially the big cat of another department where he's like the head of it.
It's Honey Badger.
Yeah, and he's a honey badger, and he's a big asshole that thinks he's the toughest because honey badgers are just awful animals.
Honey Badger don't give no shits.
Yeah.
Is that the meme? Is that what the meme is, guys? Honey Badger don't care?
The only thing I know a lot about Honey Badger is like the killing bites thing.
Yeah.
Because she's a honey badger.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Killing Bites.
So Honey Badger shows up and he's just also
he's an asshole. He's trying to pick a fight with everyone, and then Toucan's like, "Could you take that elephant out there?" He's like, "Ha! Of course I can."
And then the elephant, he picks a fight with it. The elephant steps on him and kills him.
Yeah, and he dies.
I get the feeling that that's going to be a running gag.
And then the next episode it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it turns out they have a trip to Hawaii.
Yes, because Toucan is wicked pissed that they won't get any kind of summer vacation. And then the boss is like, but I'll take you guys to Hawaii with me because I have a business trip.
And he's like, you know what? That works.
You're the smartest boss ever. No one would ever call you anything else. They would be an idiot.
And they do go to Hawaii, and they have a new tour guide, and it's someone Toucan went to school with.
Someone whose name I can't remember.
Nene.
Nene.
Yeah. And they're...
Nene.
And they're going around Hawaii, and Toucan and this guy are just kind of hanging out, and he's like, hey, I got a get-rich-quick scheme.
I also like how the tour guide doesn't know anything, so...
Big Cat just reads it all in a magazine.
Big Cat looks at Toucan, and he's like, so are we going to be okay with this guy? And Toucan's like, nah, dude, this dude is such a screw-up. We're pretty much better off going with the flow and hoping that nothing disastrous happens.
Yeah. And as they're going around, at the end of the night, Toucan and him decide to hang out because he's got, again, his get-rich-quick scheme. And Toucan essentially tells him that, or he's like, hey, so I'm kind of sorry for all those shitty things I did to you as a kid.
And then they detail such shitty things.
And he's like, yeah, bygones be bygones. It's all water under the bridge. And then I realized, nope, this dude wants revenge.
As soon as he said that, I was like, no, it's not.
And so the two of them decide to go steal from this palace.
Apparently there's a secret basement that has a whole crap ton of treasure in it.
And they do. They find it, and then they're like, oh man, look at all this stuff. And he's like, hey, check out this. And it's a solid gold turtle statue. And Toucan's like, this would make us a ton of money. And then he handcuffs him to it.
Oh no.
And he's just like, ha ha ha. He wants to, what's that Edgar Allan Poe story where he like traps his friend in the
Cast of Amontillado.
Yeah, he casts of Amontillato's him.
Cask.
He casks of Amontillato's him.
Close enough.
Yeah. I've read it. It's Italian.
Fine. It's fine. It's a cask of wine. But whatever, that's not important. Basically, he's like, haha, motherfucker. And then Toucan pulls out dynamite. And he's like...
It's like, if you're going to leave me to die, I'm taking you with me.
I'm going to blow this whole place to holy hell.
And then the next day, they're all leaving the airport, and they're like, man, where is Toucan? And then they see on the news...
2 terrorists have been arrested for blowing up the palace today.
And they see him on there, and they look at each other. Well, we should hurry onto our plane, yeah.
Yeah, we should get going. See ya, Toucan. Sorry.
No Guns Life.
No Guns Life.
Thankfully, these kind of feel like one episode, too.
Hold on, there was I got the picture of the subtitle, because the subtitle for this show is amazing.
The subtitle for this show?
Yeah, you know in the title card sequence, it's like, No Guns Life. SF, hard boiled, the gun smoke drifts, muzzle falls. That's actually what it says.
Wow.
It's like when, I imagine it's like when a person who doesn't speak Japanese gets a Japanese tattoo and they're like, this is probably some cool Japanese bullshit. They were just like, let's put some cool English stuff in there just because whatever, fuck it.
That's why I always assumed the Fate Stay Night, which is such a weird fucking title.
It makes no sense.
It's just like cool sounding English words.
You know what?
You know what?
It's a cultural exchange.
I think Fate Stay Night was supposed to be called Fate Day Night because it was supposed to contrast, hey, the day scenes where Shiro's just cooking and going to school and stuff, and then the night scenes where there's all a bunch of fighting.
That would make sense. But you know what? You get what you get.
Fate Stay Night.
But No Guns Life. Yeah,
so Juzo is investigating that thing for the director of the AMS.
Meanwhile, everyone's locked. Well, they're under their protection, but they're locked in a cell.
Yeah. So he goes to the place of the most recent victim, and it's a
shitty mansion.
It's a mansion that looks straight out of like several decades ago, like probably 100 years ago.
Yeah. He tells the cab driver to wait for him, and the cab driver just drives off.
Yeah, afraid of him because he has a gun for a head.
Because this large man has a gun for a head and asked him to be driven out into the middle of nowhere.
And what's the guy's name? Gundry, the bad guy? Gandry?
Gondry.
Yeah.
I almost said Gentry.
So the turns out Gondry is killing his old companions from his military days.
It's a little bit of loose investigation, but Juzo still does investigation in this episode where he finds under a picture frame a picture of everyone together.
Yeah, a picture of the old squad that the victims and Gondry were in.
And he also figures out who the next target is going to be.
Yeah, because there's only one left. And then he gets attacked by Cronin, the guy with the needles.
Who's got the white hair and the needles and the glasses and the cool car.
And he's like, don't scare me like that. I thought you were Gondry. And he's like, I thought you were Gondry too, but they fight anyway because they don't like each other.
Yeah, because whatever.
Even though they're both on the same side.
One's a loose cannon cop who doesn't play by anybody else's rules but his own.
But then
the other is a hard-boiled detective who doesn't play by anybody else's rules but his own. That is them.
That's their dynamic. They don't listen to anybody.
Exactly.
But they care about justice.
The only friend these two have in common is justice.
And the Juzo ends up explaining to him who the next target's going to be, and they decide to work together, and now Juzo is driving around with him in his car.
But Juzo does not fit.
Yeah.
He is too large.
And this guy has a thing against any extensions. Like, this guy's just a pure human, and the car he drives is just an old-fashioned model. He does not like new technology.
He does not. He is boomer as fuck, as some might say. He is afraid of new technology.
Which he might not be wrong, because it turns out there's a big conspiracy people are trying to cover up that extensions can actually be a problem.
Yeah, it's all related to the nightmare of Norse Scott. Basically, Gondry and his squad was involved in an incident
Gondry was the perfect soldier, and then all of a sudden...
He was the perfect soldier.
Yeah, Gondry killed a bunch of his old companions and a bunch of... he killed a bunch of military soldiers. This is before he started killing his companions.
One of which is the father
it's her father.
Of Elaine?
Olivier's dad. Olivier's dad got murdered by him, which is why she has a personal connection to this case and wants to see justice done.
She wants to see the only friend these characters have in common is justice.
But she gets taken off because she wanted him brought in alive, and the directors all want him brought in dead because they want to cover up this incident.
Yes, and if you kill someone, it's a lot easier to cover that shit up.
Yeah. Clintons.
That's controversial there.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Don't drop those memes in public. Our podcast will be dead before it even got off the ground.
Yeah, our podcast shot itself in the head twice.
Double tapped itself just to be sure. Sick son of a bitch.
While hanging itself in a car crash.
But basically they're trying to cover everything up, and she's like, I'm not down with that. So they replace her with someone else who gives orders to Cronin to kill him. You think Cronin's gonna listen?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
So they end up finding out that the other target is apparently this guy named Armed something.
He's like the mega... Fuck, what is it?
Mega Armed, I think?
It's super mega... Armors or something like that, and everyone abbreviate it.
Goldman.
So basically,
this guy is the hero.
Do you know what you are doing?
Goldman, are you aware of what you are doing?
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing.
So this guy is the hero of the war. So he's a big, he's a public favorite. He's famous. Everyone loves him.
He's got a big fucking golden head,
and you can see he has the same hands as Juzo, where he's got the revolver thing in them, and he is actually... Juzo is based off of him. Like,
yes.
He essentially... The data they collected, because they were the first group of extendeds, is what led to the creation of the gun-slave units.
Guns. What a Metal Gear sounding military unit.
The gun-slaves.
We're the gun-slave unit.
Snake. It was all during the war with the gun-slave units.
Snake. It was all the war with the gun-slave unit.
Gun-slave units.
It writes itself. Kojima, pay us $175,000.
But Snake, you'll have to watch out for the EMS.
The EMS?
Also, there's the Barugan Corporation.
Barugan Corporation?
Yes, but you'll have to watch out for Gondry.
Gondry?
He's an overextended, just like you.
Overextended?
It does.
It totally does. Let's write a Metal Gear game and then sell it to Kojima.
No, because Konami owns it.
Then we'll sell it to Konami.
And it'll be like, here, we made a Metal Gear game. We proved anyone can do it.
What if we sold a No Guns Life game to Kojima? Because we know he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
All we have to do is make sure he sticks to our script, which is going to be nigh impossible.
Yeah, he's going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't sell Kojima a script. He doesn't like other people's ideas.
That's true.
He only likes his own.
That's true.
You're a hack, Hideo! A hack!
But anyway, Norman Reedus and his funky fetuses aside, basically we see this dude armed making a public appearance, and he grandstands and is all like, ha ha ha, I'm the big hero man.
And the bad guy rushes out to attack him, and Juzo and Cronin just show up and stop him.
Yeah, they capture him, and they're like, wow, that was unexpectedly easy.
And then they realize real quick, that was a decoy.
He was a decoy.
A decoy?
Decoy. It turns out a little girl that Juzo met in the crowd was actually Gondry in disguise, because he's the ultimate assassin.
He has shape-shifting.
He has shape-shifting, and he's got cool metal tentacle arms.
And they show up, they attack him a bit, and then he runs away. And then after Cronin...
I like how Juzo fights this guy, because he's basically just like, he's shielding himself with his tentacles. I'm going to punch the shit out of him until they break.
Yeah, so Cronin and him, basically, that's where Cronin gets the call that Juzo's off the case, and he tells Juzo...
You're off the case,
and
Juzo.
Then Cronin leaves, or makes it appear that he leaves, so then, now that he's gone, Gondry comes out, and he's like, now that the needle guy's gone.
I was disguised as Juzo's jacket the whole time. Because he does. He just kind of comes out of the jacket.
But then Juzo fights him, and he's just like, you're just looking to prove that you're strong. Just fight me. We'll see whose sub-brain fries first.
Yeah, which is a clever plan.
And Juzo only does this to get his sub-brain to reveal itself and overheat. So then after, when the guy tries to run away, Cronin is actually waiting there, and he can see exactly where the sub-brain is.
Because of course he was.
And Juzo says, like, I don't like you, but I trust you.
I trust you to not listen to any orders and do your own thing.
You're a renegade like me.
You're a loose cannon cop who doesn't play by anybody's rules but his own.
Yeah, so they catch him, and as they're bringing him back, they end up going to this door where the Gold Man is kind of waiting at the end. It's like, hey,
Gold Man!
Now we can actually reveal what happened on Norse Scott Night.
It's the Nightmare of Norse Scott.
Yeah, the Nightmare of Norse Scott.
No one really knows what happened, because the only person who was an actual witness to it is Gondry, and Gondry is nuts.
Yeah, and then after the gold guy's like, oh, this is unfortunate. I can't let people know what happened then.
I'll just have to kill all of you.
And, yeah, and he punches Cronin super hard.
Who is just a guy.
Yeah. And imagine if he actually fired a bullet on that.
Yes.
And then after him and Juzo fight, and they both throw a punch at each other, and they
collide their fists.
Yeah, they're gun fists.
They're gun fists.
And that's where that ends. But yeah, so clearly, big conspiracy that they're all trying to cover up.
Yeah. Plus, we get another scene where... Tetsuo, we get a couple extra scenes, actually. There's a couple important things we should cover.
Yeah, Tetsuo realizes that Juzo needs his cigarettes.
Juzo needs his cigarettes.
So he ends up possessing one of the guards with Harmony, and he's going to bring him the cigarettes.
And he knocks out a guard who's escorting Olivier home, and he's like, come on, I need to give Juzo his cigarettes. I'm Tetsuo, by the way, hi. And then we get another scene where... it's the big titty nun and the guy from the OP that we know also has a gun head, but his gun head is hidden.
Also, he has a little kid voice, so he is Alphonse.
He is literally Alphonse.
Yeah.
But basically the nun lady, bikini nun, was like, hey, I just got kicked out of Gondry.
Yeah, because it turns out she has a portable Harmony that she can use.
Yeah. So it turns out the terrorists have been using the former military man to do terrorist things.
Which makes me wonder, is she actually part of Barugan?
Who knows?
Who knows?
There's a lot of people with a lot of motives going on right now. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's got their own thing.
I don't know what's happening.
Guys,
what's going on?
I don't know what's
Help!
happening.
Help!
Oh, no.
No.
But I like this show still. It's very good.
But if you don't know what's happening, but you want to stick around to learn what's happening.
Yes. Follow us on YouTube and wherever podcasts are sold.
Yeah, we're on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat.
We distribute on
iTunes, Google Play,
Spotify,
Deezer if you're French.
Deezer, Bonjour, Baguette. We also...
We're on YouTube. The platform's kind of on fire right now, so I hear, so
we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, no kids allowed.
Definitely no kids allowed on our channel.
Yeah.
If you are a kid, go find... Actually, if you're a kid and you have the attention span to go through an hour and 15 minutes, good on you, dude.
Yeah.
But get out of here also.
Yeah. Also, we mentioned it earlier, but yeah, if you want to hear about some of the premieres we saw at Anime New York, which you should check out because we're actually going to take some of those shows next season.
Yes.
You should. Check out that video.
That will also be distributed wherever podcasts are sold.
We watched Frag Time, Inspector, and Somali and the Forest Spirit.
Yes. See what we thought about them. See what we thought about them.
Learn about our feelings.
Learn
what
about
we think.
Our feelings.
And then you can join us next week when we won't be going over an hour because we don't have double the content to cover.
Yeah. And we also have a series, our after-class series on My Hero Academia.
We do so much stuff.
Series.
We're busy people.
We have a lot of shit to pimp, guys.
We are busy people.
I think that's everything, though. So this episode has gone on long enough. Look at all our shit. Listen to all our shit.
Listen to our shit. Goodbye.
Goodbye.